Hey guys, welcome back to Gulfside Baitworks. Today we are working on making some squid out of a fluke style bait. Um, so I posted this on Instagram. You know, I'd seen it a few places. I've seen maybe 2 or 3 guys do it, and I was like, I could try it. And people liked it on Instagram. So I asked if anybody wanted a video, and people said yes. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm actually going to do the same color scheme that I used on my post. So, missing something? There we go. All right, now I got everything I need for it. All right, so first off, the top is pretty simple. We're gonna use a Sunset Slew again. We're gonna put a 1/16 of this in there. And this is a mica shift from 8-Bit Baits. And we're going to put a 16th, not a 64, a 16th in there. And we got a couple swim bait blend. I mean, you could use, for flukes, swim bait blend gives you probably the best, what's the word for it? Action. Probably gives you the best action. But you can make them harder if you want. I wouldn't go softer than swim bait blend. That usually doesn't work out well. They just end up tearing themselves apart. But you could do something like a craw tube, like a medium hard if you wanted to. All right, so first off, we got this Sunset Slew. And I think this is actually a really good color for a squid bait. It's got golds and reds. Yeah. Just keep making sure I get it all broken up. Powders can be difficult. Alright, I think we're mostly broken up. But yeah, if you look at it from the side, you can see like reds, maroons, golds, pinks. Yeah. Now, I'm gonna put a little bit of, this is this is 0.015 hex black. So we're gonna put a little bit of this in there. Where's my, yeah, just throwing stuff around. That's what happens when you grab too many things at once. Oh, this is the thing I'm looking for right here. All right, so we're going to just put a little bit. We're doing a 64 of this. This is just to give it a little something in there. So there you go. Doesn't look like a whole lot with the black in there on in a cup, but in a smaller bait you can definitely, once it's in a bait you can definitely see it. All right, so that's our top. Top's simple, no problems there, super simple. All right, now for the bottom, we are gonna start out with one of my favorite colors, one of the first colors I ever bought. This is from MF. As you can see, it's been around with me a while. But this is called Pacific Sand. And I'm going to put 3 drops of Pacific Sand in there. You could get away probably with any kind of brown that you happen to have. Like if you got like Lureworks Scuppernog maybe, you could probably use that. But I just want a little bit of tan color. So yeah, it's not much. It's just a little bit. It's supposed to be subtle. Touch the side of that, that was warm. All right, now we're actually going to put 2 different, these are mica shifts, but they're interference powders. And we're going to put 2 of those in there. We're doing 64s of each, and we're going to do red interference and gold interference. You know, and by interference powder, if you're not familiar with that term, it's just highlight powder. So this is the 8 bits red uh, highlight powder, basically. Yeah, that's the red. All right, and then the same thing, we're going to put a 64 gold in there, and we're actually going to also put a 64 of that same black flake too. All right, so there's some gold. All right, and now a 64 of this black .015. I mean, if you want it bigger, you can. You know, the black really doesn't matter what size you go with. I think it looks better with the more subtle small one. And this is just going to give us a little bit of that interference powder, so you can kind of see the gold and that pinkish red. You know, any interference powder that says red on it, I mean, to me looks pink. All right, I'm going to reheat these, and we're going to shoot the Angling AI split tail shad in the 5.75. That's the one I have, so that's the one we're using. And after that, we will get into a second phase, because we're actually going to do some stuff to these baits so that we make them look like squid. So yeah, we'll wait for that. Actually, it's just going to be a second here. I'll go ahead and set up. And my mold here is pretty cold, which is surprising because it's not particularly cold in this room. But yeah, so get that set up. Always remember your gloves, kids. All right, here we go. All right. I find with this mold, if you shoot it really slow, you can usually get some decent straight laminate out of it, but you do have to be pretty slow. At the same time, though, if you got two colors that blend well, you can shoot it really fast and you'll get like a crazy blend. So you kind of got options on that. All right, we will wait for this to cool. We'll pull these out and look at them, and then we'll go on to our next phase. All right, I gave these guys a little time to cool. So let's pull these out and check them out. And yeah, I'm sure that they'll look pretty decent. Oh yeah, look at that. To the bucket instead of my desk. All right. Yeah, check that out. I think that this is a really cool color. I got a couple bubbles in there, but I think that this is a really cool color just for saltwater fishing in general. I mean, maybe freshwater, you could do like some crappie baits with this, and it'd probably work pretty well. There we go. Yeah, they've all got some bubbles in them. I mean, maybe I still went a little too fast. But yeah, check that out. So that's our color. So we got the Sunset Slough with the gold and reds on the top. And on the bottom, we got those interference powders, so you're getting just little hints of gold and red because we did the gold and red interference powder. All right. Now let me see if my clear dip is done. My microwave just beeped. Yep, all right, cool. Clear dip is ready to go. Let's see what the temp is on that. Still kind of low. I'm gonna put it back in the microwave while we do take another look at something over here. Okay, so now we want to make these things look like squid, right? So how are we going to do that? It's still good. Move it over just a little. Okay, cool. So how are we going to do that? Well, first off, we're going to get some eyes. I believe these are 12 millimeter eyes. You could probably go a little smaller or bigger depending on what you want. This just happens to be what I have. Oh, actually, hold up. Not eyes first. I put the eye on second. Almost messed that up. So, I want like a little bit of a dark area around the eye. So I grabbed up some bronze 0.015. You could also use the black you used earlier if you prefer black or don't have the bronze. I do really like the bronze, so I suggest getting it. So I put some on my finger and I roll it around on the bait in the area that I want it. Just like that. I'm gonna need the glove, that's hot. All right. Okay. So now we did that, right? So now we're gonna put an eye on there. Kind of right at the section where the tail and body meet. So there you go. Kind of looks like a squiddy. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. You know, and you can kind of do however you want with that bit of flake. I mean, if you prefer, you know, if you want to like make some more patterns, more intricate patterns, you could airbrush them too. Because what we're going to do now, because we got to lock those eyes in, is I'm just going to dip this bad boy. Boop. Just like that. And I found when I was doing this before, I liked 3 dips. And of course, if your plastic is cooler, your dips will be will cover more each time. But we want to make sure we're covering that section we added stuff. And now the annoying part, we have to let it drip. And we got to let it cool enough that I can set it down. One thing you could do if you're into a water bath, you could probably drop this bad boy straight into a water bath from here and it would be done. But yeah, just like that. Give it a second. Trying to hold it up here while I'm waiting for it to cool. Playing the camera good. Yeah, you got the eyes. Still a little sticky. A little sticky. See, now that's another thing too, is when you're doing that point, if you mess up, if you test if it's still sticky and you mess up, you can dip it again if you pulled some off by accident, just like that. And that'll kind of level that out. Now, one thing that I did notice when I went and test fished the ones of these that I made is we've added a bunch of plastisol from those dips over what it normally has in a fluke. So this is going to be quite a bit heavier than a regular fluke. I broke one off just casting, but I use 6-pound test usually, so I'm using 6-pound braid. So yeah, and it was enough to break the 6-pound braid with my floppy rod that I use. I saltwater fish with a rod that's meant for crappie fishing. It's like 8 foot, really floppy, with 6-pound test. I fish off the shore, so it gives me the ability to throw really far. All right. So that is looking pretty good. I just need a place to put this. Hopefully it doesn't stick to this too bad. And there you go. Got your little squiddy. All right, let's do another one. All right, so first off, we're going to put some flake on here. You know, and you don't have to just press your finger down. You can kind of work around it if you want more of a design. Maybe put a little up here. And put the eye on that side. So same thing with the other side. You know, and then you end up with your fingers covered in glitter. Try to get your eyeballs on even. All right. And now we dip it. You know, and another thing you could do, I was thinking about this earlier, you could actually take this stuff, your clear dip, and put either like a tiny bit of an interference powder, so that it then has a sheen, like if you want to put some blue highlight, you know, or if you want to go big, a material that is clear and color shift, like the holo shifts from 8-bit baits. You guys know I like 8-bit, so yeah. I was thinking maybe some Sonic over this, or Borealis. I'm out of Borealis right now, but something like that would be pretty cool, especially if you made a black fluke and then like a color. Yeah, I think that could be really cool. But yeah, now, so at this point we just let them sit and cool. So yeah, that's about it. Now you do notice that the hook slot in the fluke gets filled. You know, again, you're adding quite a bit of weight to these, so keep that in mind. Yeah, I'll let this weight hang a little longer. This is kind of a long process, but I mean, I think the results really speak for themselves. Here's that one that was already done, that we were waiting for it to cool. Little squiddy. Yep. All right. And our eyes are under plastisol, so they're not going to go anywhere. You know, and you could also, let's grab another glitter. Here we go. Let's do something crazy on one. So I grabbed gold holographic and fire red, and these are all Lureworks glitters. Almost all my glitter is Lureworks. I think I might have a couple of MF ones, but the majority of it is Lureworks. So get some gold on there. So check the way I'm going to do this. So I put the gold a little further back, and then some red, and then a big thing of the bronze. Maybe put a little up here. A little gold up there too. Yeah. So then we put an eyeball on. And we flip it over and do the same thing. Some gold. Some red. Uh-oh, had an eyeball fall off on me. But we haven't, you know, haven't put them in the clear dip yet. All right, and into the drink. Yeah, if you're like an airbrusher, you could do some really cool stuff with this. But yeah, so there's a lot. You know, I started exploring this the other day, and it seemed like there were a lot of cool things you could do with it. So yeah, just kind of having fun with it. We got one more there. Now I'm just kind of, you know, like I said, this part kind of sucks. You could probably set up something, like get you something that could hold them. But it all comes down to what you want to do. You know, somebody actually had suggested putting some skirt material, which I should have over here. Tell you what, I'm going to pause and be right back because I've got some crystal flash somewhere, I think. All right, we're back. I could not find the crystal flash, but what I found was some rolls of silicone skirt material. You know, and I've got a few different colors. I grabbed the pink because I thought that would match the squid better. So we're gonna try a little experiment here and see if I can get this stuff to stay on here too, and have that as another, you know, like little squiddy arms. So yeah, it's just silicone skirt material. And we're gonna see if that works. All right, that's one side. You know, and thankfully the plastisol is sticky enough that you just drop them on there, easy peasy. All right, so now let's do this. So I'm going to hold it like this so that this stuff is up against the edge there. try and line them up how I want them the best I can. And we'll see how it goes. Ew. So yeah, there we go. It's still cooling, of course. And once it's cool, we'll take a better look at that and see how well that silicone part worked. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. Yeah, I'm gonna give all this stuff a little time to cool, and we'll come back and finish up. All right, here we go. My one with the arms. Looks like it came out pretty good. Ugh. Yeah, so you got little squiddy arms there, the tail, so just a little extra. You can give it a try. You know, maybe you can figure out a better way than just holding it and dipping it like I did. But yeah, so that's one squiddy. Just grab the others. So here we go. So yeah, a little bit of a time intensive, maybe, I don't know if labor intensive is the right word, but definitely time intensive process. But definitely, if you like, if you like them, try them. Try it out. See how it works for you. You know, maybe you'll figure out a better way to do it too. You know, I am not the master of anything. I just throw stuff together and hope it works and get lucky fairly often. Okay. So we got all kinds of stuff that we use today. Trying to get as most of it as I can in the picture. All right. Let me bring the camera around. Try my best not to drop it. So yeah, here we go. And there is our squiddy. Yeah, anyway. But yeah. Go in the light. I really like the bottom is just kind of that subtly tan instead of being clear, because we added a little bit of brown in there. Here's a regular, here's red and holographic color added. And here's our original with just bronze. You know, and you could put, like I did, flake at the top and at the bottom. You could do it wherever, make patterns however you want to do it. But yeah, well, there we go. That's what we got. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, make sure you like, subscribe. If you want to show somebody this technique, share the video. That would be appreciated. Shares are supposedly helpful. Anyway, though, thank you guys for coming out and watching the video today, and hopefully we will see you next time. Thanks for coming by Gulfside Baitworks.